Hi everybody, it's just a quick video about these accusations now about panic buying and what have you. At the end of the day, look people, all of life on earth stocks up when facing food shortages. Like for example winter. Creatures stock up a food store to get them through the winter. We are facing an economic winter. Restrictions on freedom of movement. Restrictions on possibly supplies of food coming in. We're also being threatened with Brexit that will severely limit our supplies of food, being as this evil cabal at number 10 have not got one deal yet secured to cover Britain when their illegal, actually, hard Brexit happens. So, government says it has no duty to secure food supplies in a no-deal Brexit nor any other crisis. See, they've already covered their tracks. And this was written last year. Food for vulnerable people. No, it has no duties to supply food. So all the people out allegedly panic buying are actually behaving intelligently and getting prepared for a crisis for which the government has already stated they have no duty to supply food or even secure food for us. So who is responsible for feeding us then? Ourselves, isn't it? Because the government has no duty to do it. So if you've got children, go out and buy as much food in as you can for your children, for your family and for the community around you, because not everybody is capable of going out and buying large supplies of food. Either they haven't got the transport, they haven't got the means, they're not aware, they haven't got the money. So we're all going to have to pitch in every community and share whatever we have to help each other along, like people did in the war, because it does appear we're in a wartime situation. This is a war via the New World Order, which includes a criminal cabal, governments all around the world and all their criminal cabal corporations and all their criminal cabal offshore tax havens. And they're all working in cahoots together. They want full control. You know, this is like, you know, a 007 James Bond plot come to reality. 1984 on steroids. The only people who are actually panicking are the people on the stock exchange, aren't they? They've panicked so much, they've crashed the global economy. Apparently. Well, we all knew it was going to crash anyway. That was well predicted. It's actually a year late in coming. They've managed to stave it off. Except no. They've just had $1 trillion. That got gobbled up in a flash. And it's plummeting like nobody's business. How many more trillions are we going to collectively, as a species, pour into that black hole criminal banking system that's sustaining all these criminal governments presently operating in our world today, far-right fascists, with their Nazi agenda, neo-Nazi agendas? How long are we going to stand for it? We're going to wait now until we're all under martial law on the pretext of a virus that thus far in Britain has killed less than 1,000 people over, what, throughout the winter period it's been about. Don't tell me it only arrived in February. I know, I very strongly suspect I had it in November, and quite a few of my friends. One of them ended up in hospital with pneumonia. How many did he infect in there? We know by all the evidence it's been active in America at least since August last year. And they tried to blame it on vaping. And it hit young people as well as elderly people. In fact, it was mostly young men it was hitting. So I'm not saying that COVID-19 isn't a threat. I'm saying it's about as much a threat as every other coronavirus out there. And don't forget, this is a virus that killed 43,000 more people in the winter of 2014 to 2015. So on top of the regular annual 17,000 deaths through flu and the related illnesses, there was an extra 43,900. Look, excess deaths. That's the excess. So we're talking 60,000 people plus dead in the space of 4 months, because it does state very clearly here between December and March. And I'll leave you this article. Please, people, get aware, get active. Do not allow the dogs to round you up like sheep and instill fear and panic in you. We need balance. We need reason. Okay? I'm not saying that COVID-19 is a hoax. I'm not saying that it isn't deadly to certain people. But what I am saying is that please get a balance, get a grip. Because imagine 60,000 people plus died in 4 months between 2014 and 2015 of flu and flu illnesses, the related illnesses. So how many is that a week? How many is it a week? We're talking over 3,000, 4,000 a week. We're dying. Can you imagine if the BBC were reporting that now due to coronavirus? But nobody reported it. They didn't bother to tell us about the 43,900 excess deaths until months and months after it had happened. We've got no breakdown. We don't know whether it was how many young people were dying, how many children were impacted, how many elderly. We've got nothing. We don't know what strain of flu it was. We're told that the virus failed, that the flu jabs failed that year. Why? Why? We don't know. Nobody's asked any questions about it. Look, there it is. Regularly. Over 20,000 people dying of flu and the related illnesses, suddenly, bang. And the same happened in 1999 and also 2000 and 2001. Down, up, down, there you go. So please get a grip, be aware, and do buy as much food as you can while it's there. And buy the kind of food that keeps. And in the meantime, to protect yourself from the virus, I've just made a video sharing this, I'll share it here again. Stop eating sugar. Throw it out, cut it out of your diet, stop eating it. Stop eating it now and forever. It's bad for you, it destroys your immunity. But they're never going to give you this advice because how much money is locked into the sugar market? We are going to have to stand up for our rights. We cannot allow ourselves to be governed like cattle by a set of fascists. The kind of people our grandparents fought, gave their lives for, and suffered through 2 world wars for, and centuries before that, under heavy oppression, with 80% of us living in poverty. Now, if you want to go back to that, then just ignore me, ignore the facts and evidence, listen to the BBC. Okay, why weren't the BBC driving everybody into a panic in 2014, 2015? When people like me were being contacted through private messages from nurses in care homes expressing their concern that the care home had been shut down and people were told not to go to work, and even family weren't allowed in, and elderly people were dying in their thousands upon thousands, and nobody was asking questions, and they weren't allowed to speak to the press. Now, I asked questions at the time. I was sharing the information, but nobody was interested. Apparently, the only deaths we're interested now are those who are dying through COVID-19. And a lot of people are being tested and told, oh yeah, you've got coronavirus, so you better stay at home. But that doesn't mean you've got COVID-19. Because coronavirus applies to all flu, cold viruses. That's the term for it, coronaviruses. And in among the coronaviruses are a variety of various strains of coronavirus. COVID-19 is a strain. So unless you've been tested specifically for COVID-19, if you've gone to the hospital and they said you've got coronavirus, it means you've got either flu or a cold, but they have not given you a definition of exactly which one it is. So to all those people scoffing and scorning at people who've stockpiled, who are allegedly panic buying, it's not panicking. When we are faced with a government that has stated this, we have every right to stock up, okay? We have every right to do what we can to protect our families. The only people who are panicking in this world are the rich and what they've done to the stock exchange now, and at a time of crisis, collapsing the world market and begging for $1 trillion from the Fed, which they've received over $1 trillion, bang, just like that. When that money should be spent on looking after the people. But no, instead it goes to a set of greedy, filthy, disgusting bankers who have panicked. They've panicked so much, they've run out of money and now they need $1 trillion. But meanwhile, the same government that supports those bankers, they've got no duty to secure food supplies for us, for the people that have earned them all their profits. I'm sorry if I'm angry here, because I am. I'm upset. I'm upset at what's been going on. I'm upset at the disinformation. I'm upset at the imbalance, and I'm upset at the ignorance, the total ignorance. This has been known for decades and decades, what sugar does and how it inhibits our defences. You know, I never ever just come online to have a moan. I always offer guidance for a way out, for a way forward, okay? And, you know, even this, we do need to sue this government for the damage that they have done to our country and put us at risk with everything they've been doing, and now using this virus to scaremonger people into blind panic. But I say, be aware, be active, stand up for your rights, people. Do get a stock of food supplying. And as I say, think about your neighbours. Because when we've all got food in our communities, we can all look after each other and cook meals for each other and help each other. Oh, but they're going to stop that, aren't they? Because they're bringing in martial law, so we'll all be isolated within our own homes. This is outrageous. And look, what can I say? Buy your food, okay? And stay strong. Stop eating sugar. Protect yourself. Do not eat sugar. And that includes anything with corn syrup in it, honey. Even if you start coming down with the cold, even avoid fruits, because even fruit sugars can inhibit your immunity when you're fighting a cold virus. It's the difference between contracting the flu virus and having mild symptoms, or contracting it and getting full-on blown flu, you see. So we do really need to get informed, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So big love. God bless to everybody. Take strength. Stay strong. And, you know, as I say, make sure that you have in what you and your family need. And you're not panic buying. You are responding. You are legitimately responding to a very real threat.